NBC 15 Law Call.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are talking about slips, trips, and falls, otherwise known as premises liability in the legal world. Let's get straight to your questions. We have a call-in question from Laverne. Laverne, what is your question?
Hey, Laverne.
Yes, about a month or so ago, I was entering a building at a local mall, and when I went to open the door, it was a glass door. The glass shattered before I could even enter the building, up into the room I was going into. And I was bleeding, and they ended up calling an ambulance. He took me to the hospital, and I ended up with a contusion. Well, now I'm getting medical bills. The hospital didn't ask me for insurance information, but now I'm getting a bill from the ambulance and a bill from the hospital. And I just want information on what my next course. And I have talked to a couple of lawyers, and one lawyer pretty much said that there's not much he could do for me. Okay. And the other one thought that it may be a product liability.
Yeah, not talking disparagingly about other lawyers, but whoever you talk to is just, they don't know what the heck they're talking about. This is not, and the one that said they might not or can't help, they probably are a divorce lawyer or a real estate lawyer, and they don't know anything about this area. So throw that one aside. As far as being a product liability case, well, perhaps, maybe the glass on that door was defective in some way, but at the very minimum, you have a claim against that property owner. I just settled a case about a year ago against a very well-known shopping center in Baldwin County where something very similar happened. It wasn't glass, but something off the roof and the signage that fell and horribly injured. And you mentioned the fact that you were bleeding, and you said that you suffered a contusion. Sounds to me like you probably suffered a concussion. Contusion's like a bad bruise, but it sounds like you were injured. I would not, again, for the sake of sounding like a broken record, don't deal with them anymore. Just because they say they're not at fault, you need to talk to a lawyer. I'm not sure what town you're in, but you need to talk to somebody that handles these kind of cases. Don't just, talk to any Tom, Dick, or Harry, because you do have, in my opinion, a heck of a case.
Cool. Even because you talked about how these are so fact specific, slip,
right.
trip, and fall cases, and that they're difficult. And I mean, a lot of, even if you're a personal injury attorney, you may not want to deal with these kinds of cases because they're harder. So I mean,
right. Well, I tell you what, I'd be. I mean, not that I hate that she was injured, but if I got a call like this, I mean, I'd be extremely happy because I think I can help her, and that's a heck of a case.
I mean, I don't even understand products liability case. I don't even know why you out of the gate go that route. I mean, she was injured, and the property owner is at fault because that's their property that caused the injury. Right.
I mean, you got to look at the maintenance issues and things of that nature. And why did the glass come out? Was it a defect of the glass company? Who knows? But who cares? You got a heck of a case, and contributory negligence does not come into place unless you were walking into that store and it was locked, and you sat there and just shook it and shook it and shook it, saying "Let me in," and then it fell. Then maybe. But if this was normal business hours, which I assume it was, and you were, this happens actually more times than you would think. And then if something fell on you, you've got a locked, solid case.
Well, at a bare minimum, the the medical payments clause in the policy would cover some of her bills, and that's not even, you don't even have to file a lawsuit.
Right, but on this one, I would be just chomping at the bit. MedPay, pay me the MedPay without any questions, but also you have a liability issue where you have a serious injury. So the MedPay may pay you $5,000 for your out-of-pocket, but the liability side, which you have to prove they were at fault in order to be able to get it. But in this situation, we're talking way more than just what MedPay's worth.
Okay. All right. Well, Bill, let folks know how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah,
the best way.
Yeah, the easiest way to get me is my cell phone. And it's 251-463-0708. And the reason I give that number out first, a lot of times I'm traveling or out of the office, and you can get me on that number. I'll answer unless I'm in a meeting or something of that nature in court. But if I don't answer, my voicemail may be full, I get so many calls, just text me and let me know your name, what your situation is, and I promise you I'll call you back. And then also you see my office number there, 251-255-5000, and that's normal business hours. And my assistant's name is Amber. And just speak to one of us and we'll see what we can do, or you can email me.